Hello, clever people, and welcome to our review for A Ghost Story. Just really quick, getting out of the way. The lighting, I know it looks bad, but it's supposed to be ghostly. So it's impressionism. It's great. Anyway, Connor, what is this movie about?
So A Ghost Story is a representation of time. It is. I don't want to spoil too much about it because the trailers didn't say much about it.
They didn't.
Yeah. So it's about Rooney Mara and Casey Affleck. This relationship. They're moving out of the house, and Casey Affleck dies and becomes a ghost.
And it's your basic idea like a Charlie Brown sheet ghost with it's like a bed sheet and it's got two circles on it. So it's a fairly simple character design. This movie is fairly simple. It's not a complex plot. A lot of it consists of still shots, quiet shots of just the ghost walking around and looking at things. Casey Affleck must have been under the ghost. And I gotta say, the acting in this movie is some of the best I've seen in a film in a really long time. Rooney Mara, Casey Affleck. The reason that they're the only two on the poster is they're really the only main characters in the movie, but their acting in this is truly Oscar-worthy. Rooney Mara has a 5-minute pie scene. That scene helped me get into the movie. I think that's the best scene of the year. That scene must have taken so much acting. She had to subtly show that she is in pain, that she hurts, and that nothing is really going well for her in such a small, condensed amount of time. And also, Casey Affleck. Being under an actor's nightmare is to have their face hidden, because the face is what you use to emote, is what you use to act. So he went this entire movie only having two circles in his eyes that were black, and then being the white sheet ghost. So basically, the entire movie he has to use his body or like physical things to do acting, to act out his performance. And honestly, I thought that it was absolutely stunning and extremely powerful.
I agree. Yes. The acting is fantastic, not only just from Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara. There's a long speech about time and your legacy at a party later on in the film, and the acting in that scene was fantastic. The guy who told the speech did a fantastic job about it, and it was extremely well written. The script is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, the dialogue in this movie is to a minimal, but when it's there, it is there. This director, I've only seen Pete's Dragon from him, but I hear that one of the biggest complaints is dialogue with him. That he has a hard time writing realistic dialogue, and that definitely holds true to Pete's Dragon. Now, I think that the way that he doesn't use dialogue in this movie too much, and he only really has it in one scene, is great. I heard people complain that in that one scene they sort of spilled the theme of the movie, but I don't think that that one scene is the theme of the movie. Because in that scene, he basically talks about how your legacy won't go on forever. And that's a big theme of the movie, but the main focus of this movie is about love and how it affects you, and it's really what matters in life, feelings or how you affect others. And I have to say, the themes in this movie, the main reason that I love it so much is how much this movie just like stabbed me in the chest. How brutal and emotionally devastating it was. I think A24 is a studio that hinges themselves on making movies that will relate to people and stab them and just emotionally drain them in ways that are unimaginable. Moonlight did this, Swiss Army Man did this, 20th Century Women did this, and so did A Ghost Story. This movie is extremely sad. There's not a lot of happiness here. Yet at the same time, it's got so many optimistic feelings to it. I've never seen a movie so optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. It does both so well simultaneously, and honestly, it just made it one of the best films of the year. The themes are just so powerful. I relate to them on such a huge level, to the point that at the end of this movie, we both did this. We sat and we just watched the credits roll, and we just took in what was happening. Because this movie makes you look at life and makes you want to appreciate it way more than before, and that is honestly incredible.
Yeah. There are two types of movie in my eyes. Really, there's like a blockbuster that's like a lot of action, a lot of comedy, stuff like that. Like a mainstream movie, what most movies are.
Comic book movies.
Yeah, like, that's how you get most of your entertainment. There's tons of stuff happening. And then there's a movie like this, or Nocturnal Animals, that are extremely entertaining, but it's not a ton of stuff happening. There's dialogue and characters interacting, and it's not like a ton of stuff happening all the time, so you're incredibly intrigued. But it does take you on a roller coaster, and you get incredibly intrigued when a film like this has good writing. When it's something like My Cousin Rachel, where it has just okay writing, you're like, when can I leave?
Yeah.
Like, that's when I felt like My Cousin Rachel. I was really excited for it, and I kind of felt like that. This and Nocturnal Animals, I was more invested than like any other film, like a blockbuster. It was extremely invested in it, and it was incredible. I was very entertained.
I have to say that the way that this film is shot too is amazing. The cinematography
Oh my God, yes.
is beautiful. It's very ghostly. It's very the aspect ratio too really helps with this. It's just sort of ghostly and very it's hard to describe what it is. It's kind of transparent but not completely. And I really like that. It had to do with the colors and also the cinematography. And I like the way that that worked out. This movie, honestly, it's not too complex of a movie. It's very simple. The best part, technically, is the acting, but honestly, I think that the main point of this movie, the main reason people love it, and the main reason it's being contended as one of the best films of the year, is because of the relatability and the strong emotional themes.
Yes.
This movie is so strong emotionally and so powerful that you can't help but love it. I honestly don't think that there's a single person on this planet that won't relate to it in at least some way. And for that, I will give A Ghost Story a 9 out of 10.
I agree. It is completely beautiful. The cinematography is fantastic. I love aspect ratios like that. I completely agree. I did find it extremely relatable, and I would give A Ghost Story a 10 out of 10, my 5th 10 out of 10 this year.
Yeah, I think that if there's one issue with this movie, this is the type of movie that really doesn't have a lot of issues. I think that there's one issue where there's a certain scene, I don't want to spoil what it is, but basically Casey Affleck freaks out, and he starts doing something very supernatural that I just sort of thought was a bit much. Because throughout the rest of the movie, he was there, but he wasn't affecting the life too much. And when he started doing certain things, I don't want to spoil what it is, but you'll know what it is when you see it. I think that was just a bit much, and I thought that they didn't need to go that far. But besides that, nearly perfect movie.
I would say I didn't really have any problems with it. I had a problem with it at first, and then when I got into the movie, I understood why they did it. At first, at the 5-minute pie scene, I was like, oh, this is excessive. And then when I got into the film, I was like, it's not excessive. I changed my mind on it as the film progressed. So, at first I had a problem with it, but I would consider it a perfect 10 out of 10.
Alright, yeah, it's definitely a powerful movie. Check this out if you can. It's not in too many theaters. It probably won't go into too many more. But if you have a chance to see it, maybe even on VOD later or on DVD or Blu-ray, go check it out. But anyway, that concludes our review. So what do you think of A Ghost Story or the director? Just comment below, let us know. And that concludes it. I am Robert Burke.
And I'm Connor Gilbert.
And this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.